So we're going to be taking a look at a normal combo versus Daipan Loop. So as you can see in the top right corner, it says 95 out of 160. This means that the combo did 65 damage. It also gave us 15 meter return. This is as basic as you can get. If we're going to be doing Daipan Loop at all, or any other sort of combo, full corner carry is what matters, right? But if we're doing other combos, where even if that connected, it still wouldn't have done as much damage as the shoulder combo, and that's with a KO ender, which is kind of frustrating. Another very basic combo does 105, or leaves us at 105, which gives us 55 damage. Depending on how many hits of the zesshous actually hit, it ends up being around 57. So against a standing opponent, shoulders is considerably better. But what happens when we introduce Daipan? So let's take a look at Daipan Loop. With a full screen carry, you do 61 damage and 12 meter. That is 4 less damage and 2 less meter. It's not a great situation to be in. And if you add an extra heavy punch, you only gain 1 extra damage. However, if you do 2 extra heavy punches, making a total of 5, you end up getting between 67 and 68, depending on how many hits of the zesshou actually connect. So now you're doing more damage, but you have to do, 5 reps of Daipan Loop, or technically 4, because you're doing crouching medium punch, stand fierce. So the more reps that you do, the more it scales up in damage. Every rep extra gives you between 2 and 3 damage, with some only giving 1, going from technically 8 reps to 9 reps. When you hit 11 reps, you end up at a point where you're only doing 2 more damage, and you max out at about 78. So for something that's incredibly difficult, that you need incredibly good execution, it's going to be extremely difficult to even get more than 8 consistently. Me personally, I will never do more than 9 against a standing opponent. And I'm playing on FBA RR right now, which has more input lag than normal. So it's not an ideal training situation for a execution heavy combo. But the idea here is just to showcase exactly how much damage you get different when your opponent is standing or crouching. So Daipan Loop becomes much, much better when your opponent crouches. So let's take a look at damage against crouching opponents. This combo does 75 damage, right? So that's really not all that bad. 75 damage, 15 meter. And now our very basic Daipan Loop combo does 73 damage. Well, wait a second, that's only 3 away, and the meter is actually 13 instead of 12. Okay, so that's not bad. So the more Daipans that we do against a crouching opponent, the better it is. So that's a 10 rep Daipan Loop combo that does 100 damage. 100 is 25 more than 75. So it's literally like a 25% damage increase. So if you're capable of doing Daipan Loop against crouching opponents, it may be worth it. However, if you're not doing 9 or 10 rep combos, it's not really worth it at all. If you were doing something like a 6 rep combo, then you only end up doing 89 to 90 damage, which is only a, net increase of approximately 14, or it's exactly 14. But the reason why this is an issue is because of a different combo. Oops. If you're capable of doing this combo against most of the cast, you're going to end up with a 90 damage combo. So when you're doing the difficult combos, this one is not difficult. But it does give less meter in some cases. But against Daipan Loop, or compared to Daipan Loop, it gives the exact same meter. So what exactly does this mean? Well, it means that if you can do your Daipan Loops, you should do them. And what I mean by do them is if you can get all 10 to 14 reps. And if you can't, then it's better to just do the combo that I showcased. And there's very few characters that this does not work on. If you look at the spreadsheet that I created for the freestyle stuff, you will see that this exact combo works against Shotos, Alex, Elena, Ibuki, Necro, Oro, Remy, 12, and Twins. So the only characters it doesn't work on in some way is Chun, Dudley, Hugo, Makoto, Q, and Urien. So 1/3 of the cast cannot have this combo work. So against those characters, you actually do have to use Daipan Loop, which isn't all that bad, considering most of the characters that you cannot do this on are characters that Daipan Loop is incredibly easy to do. Someone like Dudley, as an example, is very easy to get almost full reps on. Same thing with Chun-Li. So let's just build some bar real quick. And then let's make him crouch. Save the state. Oops, didn't get the ender. But you get the idea. Daipan Loop against the characters that I listed is much, much, much easier, as they are larger-bodied characters. The only change from this is that Elena is a large-body character that can have this done to her. So Daipan Loop in general is used mostly as a way to homogenize all of your combos, so that you don't have to memorize all the different routes. And this is something that a lot of players do tend to do at a high level. And Sho is sort of the, poster boy of this mentality of, not really worrying about anything because of how much Daipan Loop he does. And again, if he's doing Daipan Loop, he may do a sweep mid-screen against certain characters if they're standing. Or he may do a, shoulder into super jump medium kick, or, dash punch into universal overhead. All the ways to reset their opponent so that they can get more meter and continue their oppression with extra agents. So while Dudley's really easy to do Daipan Loop against while he's crouching, generic shoulder combos are usually what is used against him. And the reason for this is because this does 63 damage, and he gives us 15 meter. But, you know, if we do Daipan Loop, the 3 hits is relatively easily done. And then we have the normal combo, which gives us 2 less damage and 3 less meter, which isn't the biggest deal. But it's very hard to get more than 3 or 4 reps of Daipan Loop because of you need frame perfect in order to use the crouching medium kick. And the reason for this is because against standing Dudley and Urian, you can't use crouching medium punch. Very similar to Oro not having crouching medium punch hit him when he's crouching. So you have to start this with crouching medium kick. And if you want to allow more than a couple Daipan Loops, you need to start with crouching medium kick into Kara Fierce. And this makes it much easier because you stay closer to your opponent. But getting that initial standing heavy punch is a little bit more difficult. And as you see here, this sort of a Daipan Loop combo puts him down about 10 more damage than the shoulder combo. So by doing about 7 reps of Daipan Loop, you get about 10 extra damage, which is significant. But it's difficult unless you know how to do it. And this is exacerbated when you go towards mid-screen. Because when you start in mid-screen, it makes it a lot easier to get your opponent to the corner, right? And when you are mid-screen again, you know, doing very basic combos isn't going to get you anywhere close to just the, you know, shoulder, shoulder, shoulder combos. It's still going to be right around 60 damage. You know, unless you can do something like the forward medium punch, fierce, which is relatively difficult against Dudley. But it does give you quite a bit more damage. As you can see here, it is doing 82 damage. That 82 damage is definitely nice, right? And this combo also does 82 damage. It's very similar as far as what you can get from a medium punch, forward fierce, and a Daipan Loop combo that has, you know, a lot of Daipans. So keeping it simple against characters like this is important when they're standing if you are insistent on not doing, you know, resets. As you can see here, a reset in this situation gave me quite a bit more damage, closer to 100, and it gave me a lot more meter. So successful resets are very important. And against characters like, you know, Urian, they may not be as strong because of headbutt. But against other characters like Chun-Li or Dudley or whatever, you know, it's a very viable choice. In my opinion, to really maximize Daipan Loop from screen, with the least amount of Daipans required to get them to the corner to maximize your damage, you can take advantage of, you know, double Carapoms. And as you can see in this combo, it only required 2, which executionally may be hard for some players, but 2 of them is not all that difficult by comparison to doing something like 5. And you get very equivalent damage to a combo that required 7. So you trade off a little bit harder execution for the palms versus doing another 4 Daipan Loop reps, which against a standing character like Dudley or Urian or whatever can be quite difficult. But I guess the whole point of this is you doing Daipan Loop is incredibly effective against opponents when they are crouching. But when they're standing, doing more than 3 or 4 reps is most likely going to end up in a situation where, you're not maximizing your damage or your meter potential. This is why resets are done, or why shoulder combos are mostly done. There are some combos, like I showed, that have very minimal damage difference, and if you as a player are more comfortable doing those combos as opposed to just relying on shoulder, 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 then you can go for that as well. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you really want to maximize things, getting high rep, like 10 reps against standing opponents, is out of reach for most players.